The academic procession is led by the Honorable Chief Guest of the ceremony, Shri K.V. Kamath, Chairman, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, Honorable Chairperson, SEBI and NISM, Ms. Madhabi Puri Butch, Respected Director of NISM, Dr. C.K.G. Nair, Respected Executive Director of SEBI, Shri G.P. Garg, Respected Registrar of NISM, Shri Sunil Kadam, and distinguished faculty members of NISM. I request the dignitaries to please proceed to the dais and occupy their seats. I request the faculty colleagues and distinguished guests to please occupy their seats in the designated rows. Thank you all. Please take your seats. I am Sanjay Dhakite, Deputy General Manager at NISM. It gives me an immense pleasure to take you all through the 10th Convocation ceremony of NISM. May I now request Chairperson Ms. Madhavi Ma'am to declare the 10th Convocation ceremony open. Thank you, ma'am. Respected Chief Guest of the ceremony, Shri K.V. Kamath, Chairman, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, Honorable Chairperson, SEBI and NISM, Ms. Madhabi Puri Butch, Respected Director of NISM, Dr. C.K.G. Nair, Respected Executive Director of SEBI, Shri G.P. Garg, Respected Registrar of NISM, Shri Sunil Kadam, distinguished faculty colleagues, graduating students, proud parents, and other guests, a warm welcome to you all. Every auspicious occasion requires an auspicious beginning. Today is the 9th day of the Navratri festival, and we are glad to have the convocation ceremony on this auspicious day. So, we would like to begin the ceremony by lighting a lamp and seeking blessings of Goddess Saraswati. Light is considered as a symbol of auspiciousness, prosperity, and abundance. Light brings brightness with it and removes the darkness. Light signifies knowledge, and Mata Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge. I invite all the dignitaries to please come forward to light the lamp and seek blessings of Goddess Saraswati. I also invite our students for Saraswati Vandana. May I request all of you to please rise?
या ब्रह्मपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्करा प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती शेषजाड्यावः शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् छायान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिका विददातिं पद्मासने संस्थिता वन्दे तां परमेश्वरं भगवतीम् बुद्धिप्रदां शारदा.
Thanks to all the dignitaries. May I request the dignitaries to take their respective seats. Thank you, students. I'll now like to invite Dr. Rachna Baid, Dean Academics, NISM, to render the welcome address and introduce the dignitaries on the dais.
Okay. Respected dignitaries on the dais, guests, colleagues, parents, and spouses of accompanying students, such a pleasure it is to see all of you here. My mind goes back to the day when I welcomed you during the inauguration ceremony. You all came with a dream, looking for careers in thriving securities market. During the course of your program, I have witnessed your academic accomplishment, your personal growth and transformation. Your dedication, sincerity, and discipline have earned you the postgraduate degree of NISM. I must tell you, students, we all are extremely proud of you. I understand that many of you are lucky enough to find jobs, work that you are passionate about, I truly hope that others are working passionately with utmost sincerity. That's the power of choice, my dear students. I must tell you that किस्मत चाहे साथ दे या ना दे, मेहनत हमेशा साथ देती है. There is no substitute for hard work. In the words of Khalil Gibran, work is love made visible. And I must add, in this love, there are no heartaches, no 7-year itch. So fall in love, stay in love of your work. Love your work today more than you have loved it yesterday. I congratulate you all once again and welcome you to the convocation ceremony. Now I take the opportunity of introducing the dignitaries on the dais. I'm truly honored to introduce the chief guest of the event, Sri K.V. Kamath. Sri Kamath is a Padma Bhushan awardee and currently the chairman of National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development and chairman of Geo Financial Services. He has started his career in 1971 at ICICI. In 1988, he moved to Asian Development Bank and spent several years in Southeast Asia before running to ICICI as its managing director and CEO in 1996. And post its merger with ICICI Bank, was managing director and CEO of ICICI Bank. Under his leadership, the ICICI transformed itself into a diversified, technology-driven financial services group across banking, insurance, and asset management in India with a global presence. He has retired as Managing Director and CEO in 2009 and continued as Chairman of ICICI Bank till 2015. He has served as Chairman of Infosys. In 2015, he was appointed as the first president of the new development bank set up by the BRICS countries, from where he retired in 2020. Sri Kamath is a mechanical engineer and completed his post-graduation in business administration from IIM Ahmedabad. Students, let us welcome the chief guest with a huge round of applause. With great pleasure, now I introduce our chairperson, Ms. Madhvi Puri Butch, chairperson SEBI as well as NISM. Madam has assumed office as chairperson of SEBI with effect from 2nd of March 2022. Prior to that, she has served as old-time member SEBI from April 2017 till October 2022 during which she handled various departments in SEBI. Before joining SEBI, she had a brilliant career in financial markets and banking for around 3 decades. She served as consultant to the New Development Bank in Shanghai, head of the Singapore office of a private equity firm, Greater Pacific Capital, managing director and chief executive officer at ICICI Securities Limited, and executive director on the board of ICICI Bank. She has served as a non-executive director on the boards of various companies. Madam holds an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, and she is a graduate in mathematics from St. Stephen's College in New Delhi. A huge round of applause for our chairperson. With pleasure, now I introduce our director, Dr. C.K.G. Nair. Dr. Nair assumed office as director NISM on 20th September 2021. Dr. Nair was a member of SAT during 2021. Before joining SAT, he was an officer of the Indian Economic Services for about 31 years and has held various positions in the government of India, majorly in the Ministry of Finance. He was involved in substantive policy, law, institutional reforms in the financial sector in various capacities. These include Report on Financial Sector Legislative Reforms Commission, bankruptcy law reforms leading to the enactment of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, reforming commodities derivatives market regulation, culminating in the merger of Forward Market Commission with the SEBI, and a modern monetary policy framework with a monetary policy committee. Dr. Nair has a PhD in economics from JNU. He has a master's in development economics from University of East Anglia, UK, and a master's and bachelor's degree in economics from Kerala University. Along with the dignitaries, we have on dais our registrar, Mr. Sunil Kadam, CGM at SEBI, with over 3 decades of experience in various departments of SEBI. I once again welcome all the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you very much. Please take it forward, Sanjay.
Thank you, ma'am, for the welcome address and for introducing the dignitaries. May I now request Dr. C.K.G. Nair, Director NISM, to address the audience.
Padma Bhushan Sri K.V. Kamath, distinguished chief guest, Ms. Madhavi Puri Butch, esteemed chairperson of NISM board and SEBI, Sri Sunil Kadam, registrar NISM, Mr. Gajendra Singh Rana from SBI, Mr. Ajay Kumar from Canara Bank, Mr. G.P. Garg, Executive Director SEBI, my fellow colleagues, staff members, parents and relatives of convocating students, other students, and all other dignitaries. Today is a landmark day in the life of the convocating students. It is because of many reasons. First of all, it's a landmark day in the life of all of you because you are leaving the campus formally and taking on the challenges of life in the actual field of where the challenge is. However, many of you have already taken on that challenge, I am aware, but till you are convocated, you have a feeling that you continue to be part of the campus, which you really are. You have an alumni group where you will continue to be members, and you have all the freedom to be part of the alumni group and visit NISM whenever you feel like. Secondly, in order to bless you today, we have 2 dignitaries on the dais. Mr. Kamath, as he has been introduced by Professor Rachna Bai in all its glory, is the right person to bless you because there is no professional and financial sector leader like Mr. Kamath in India, and very few in the world. his words of advice and guidance will be of immense value to you, though it will be of only a few words for a few minutes, but that will convey messages for your whole life. So please lap it up, understand it properly, and try to follow it. Again, Ms. Madhavi Puribuch, as chairperson of NISM, has been taking personal interest in all your welfare and also in restructuring the NISM to be future ready. And despite her heavy workload as SEBI chairperson, which nobody needs to be explained, and the market regulator is the most difficult job anywhere in the world, I am told. And that's why I am happy that I never got that job. So she is adoring that job and still taking personal interest in the welfare of NISM and all its staff members and the students without many of your knowledge. And so I am declaring it that she has been taking that much interest in all of your welfare. So again, the Professor Bait has introduced her, and her words of wisdom and guidance will be of immense value to you as you go ahead. Please acknowledge it and implement it in your life. Coming to tell you briefly, particularly for the chief guest, about the activities of the NISM, which is an important milestone in the convocation process. We have been trying to, NISM, as you all know, has already completed about 18 years of its existence. But we have come to this campus in 2016, December, when the Honorable Prime Minister of India inaugurated this campus, and gradually we shifted to this campus. Many of the students here present may not be aware of this trajectory. Having come here, we have initiated a number of courses, and right now we have 5 long-term programs, and 2 of them AICTC approved, and 1 of them approved by the UGC, jointly offered by the degree offered by the Maharashtra National Law University and NISM together. And then we have tailor-made programs for specialized areas in the securities market, in investment advisor, research analyst, portfolio managers. We have a dedicated program for the officials of the ICICI Bank. And except the law students, all others are convocating today. And the law students, the degrees will be provided by the MNLU, and they will be convocating later. And another development which in NISM, which we have been doing, but we are going to do it at a more expanded and integrated manner, is the practical application of the various aspects of the financial sector, particularly securities market, so that those who pass out from NISM will be able to start doing their tasks assigned by the financial service providing institutions or even regulatory authorities from day one. And so all the necessary skills and capabilities are provided during their educational or long-term training or whatever capacity building program which we will call. This has been a hallmark of NISM courses in the past as well, but the degree of practical component was rather limited or only a small part. But going forward, we will be accelerating the component of the practical and applied side, and that is part of the restructuring effort we are doing. Plus, as you are all aware that NISM provides certification on the average to about 300,000 students every year, which also has increased in number from about 200 plus thousand to the last year we had 300,000 plus candidates who took various certifications, which is an integral part of professionalizing the securities market at various levels, whether it is in terms of brokerages or mutual funds or in any other aspects of R&D agents or credit rating agencies whatever be the area of regulated entities by SEBI, we are there to provide the basic qualification, and that is what has been systematically developed over a period of time. So we have a large number model here. So today we will be awarding the certificates to about 128 students belonging to the 4 long-term programs. We will also be providing or awarding the meritorious certificates and the gold medals which are instituted by the State Bank of India and the Canara Bank. I understand representative senior officials of the State Bank, Mr. Gajendra Singh Rana, and that of the Canara Bank, Mr. Ajay Kumar, are also present in our occasion. They will be called upon to the stage to distribute the gold medals which those banks are providing. And similarly, we will be announcing the names of the meritorious students who have got the scholarship from NISM. We provide scholarship to a large number of students, which is part of because NISM is not a profit-making body, it's a not-for-profit-making body. So we carry that ethos in all our endeavors. And with these words, let me wish you all a very happy convocation, as well as a happy and prosperous life, reaching the zenith of financial sector management or profession, or whether it is working for the companies or the other entities in the financial sector, or setting up your own entities and participating in the financial market. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address and for highlighting the key activities at NISM. May I now request Ms. Madhvi Puri Butch, Chairperson SEBI and NISM, to address the audience, please.
A very good morning to each one of you. It is really a pleasure to be here. And I must say that I'm so delighted that Mr. Kamath agreed to be here today. When one thinks of the chief guest at a convocation, one says, we need somebody who's a role model. But as I never tire of saying, Mr. Kamath is not just a role model, he's a role model to dozens and dozens of role models. So we are delighted that he is here with us today. Over the next few minutes, I would actually like to share with all of you, and particularly the graduating students, that it is our hope that your association with NISM, as you look forward, will be even more than it has been in the last 2 years. Now, you will wonder how that can possibly be so, but that's our fervent wish, because at the end of the day, we know that what it takes to thrive and prosper in the securities market is to continuously be on top of your game and to continuously be updated with every single aspect and with every single development in the domain of the markets. So I'm going to take you through some of how we hope you will continue to be a part of the NISM family for many, many years to come. So at the start, the focus on capacity building, as some of you are aware, the board of NISM deliberated over the last 1 year and recommitted itself to its essential mandate of capacity building in the industry. And we know that there are many aspects of this capacity building that we have already brought to the table, but we hope that we can now complete this entire rainbow of aspects over the years to actually facilitate an ongoing capacity building for each one of you as you progress on your careers. We have great hope that your careers will skyrocket. Why is that? Because we see the trend in the markets itself. When the underlying market thrives, all the people associated with it and working in it also thrive. So if you see that chart, of course, the blue portion is the equity market cap. And as you know, today, the market cap of our listed companies is equal to the GDP of the country. And so as the GDP grows, we expect that this will also grow in the same fashion at a compound rate, possibly taking us to higher and higher levels. What is often not understood is also about our corporate bond markets. So the orange piece there that you're seeing is the growth in the corporate bond markets. And as the economy matures, more and more capital formation happens not just through equity, but through bonds. And the financing of the growth of the economy takes place through the bond market. So hopefully you'll see that number also growing. And part of what is fueling this growth in the markets today is the amazing growth that we've seen in the mutual fund industry. So every one of those metrics, whether it is the asset under management, the blue line, the number of folios, which is the red line, the number of SIPs, which are there, growing, the systematic investment plans, this is the rockbed of the stability of our markets. Numerous people globally have asked us as to how is it that when the rest of the world is facing such tremendous headwinds, our markets continue to be so resilient. When money globally is moving out and the FPIs move out in response to global tightening and increasing cost of funds, how come our markets are so resilient? And our answer to that is always the same, which is this slide, which is to say that the increasing financialization of savings, the increasing amount of commitment to the equity markets in particular that retail investors are placing is what is driving this stability. So the systematic investment plans in the mutual funds, it's amazing. Month on month on month, thousands of crores keep coming in because people have the confidence in the markets and in the institutions who are driving this. And equally importantly, they get rewarded for this because they are not trying to time the market, they're not trying to game the market, they're just systematically, month after month, getting the benefits of compounding, getting the benefits of averaging of cost of acquisition. And therefore, when they look back 3 years, 5 years later, they find that their wealth has indeed grown. And that's what leads to the virtuous cycle of the growth of the mutual fund industry. The fact that the Indian economy and the markets have played such an important role now globally is reflected in the share that the Indian market has in the emerging market index, the Morgan Stanley Emerging Market Index. Not very long ago, we were at 8.3% weightage. Today, we are more, almost at double. In the middle, we had actually almost doubled, and we are today at 14.3% weightage in the index. So this is a global recognition of the way that our economy and the markets ecosystem is really growing. So which now begs the question that all of you are at this starting line, going to participate in this wonderful ecosystem. And what is important for all your employers going forward is that you are job ready, not just from the perspective of understanding the concepts of the market, but also what actually needs to happen on day one in your jobs. Which is why now the focus is being very much in terms of building a partnership with the entire markets ecosystem. So we had an expert committee which was appointed by the board to guide our future path. And the one question that they asked us repeatedly was, what is so special about you? Why should students come to you and why should they continue to stay with you? It was a very challenging question, but we did answer it. Because what we found was there is no other institute in the country, possibly, we haven't benchmarked, but possibly globally, where the power of partnership with the ecosystem is so strong that we now have a large number of people, whether they are the exchanges, the depositories, the brokers, the mutual funds, the investment advisors, all of them have expressed willingness to partner with NISM in order to do three things. The first is to actually set the curriculum. Because if we want that our students should be relevant to them, then what we teach you should be relevant to them. So even from the starting stage of designing the curriculum, it is going to be industry-led design of curriculum. The second thing is they have many of them, including the CEOs of many of the market institutions. We have requested them to come and conduct master classes for us, which we will democratize. We will make this digital. So going forward, when you are in your jobs, you can have the benefit of coming to NISM online and actually having the benefit of learning from the master class where the top CEOs of the market are going to conduct these master classes for you. The third is that we hope that like SEBI is now doing, and we've initiated this policy within SEBI, we hope to make the whole process of certification and qualifications from NISM an integral part of our promotion and skill building process. So we have already taken a policy that when in SEBI somebody moves from Department A to Department B, he has to pass the certifications that are relevant for the market in his new department. So it's absolutely essential that we as a regulator are as abreast of what needs to be learned about that domain as anybody operating in the market. And similarly, a number of very large institutions in the market have also said that they're going to be exploring this concept and bringing the entire certification process and capacity learning process, capacity building process into their HR processes. Of course, specific reference, I think, in today's world to data. This is one of our most popular courses, I understand, Dr. Nair, the data analytics course, and we see more and more and more demand for it. So in case you haven't already been a part of it, I would certainly urge you to do that. Many years ago, I was told by my boss, so you may or may not recollect this, but Nachiket was my boss at one time, very early on in my career. And something happened, and I said to him that, you know, technology and I don't really get along. And he said to me, young lady, you better start to learn to get along with technology or you will have no place in this bank. He actually said that to me, and that changed my life forever. So data and what it can do, we all know that the future is all about the digital footprints. Everything is going to be about the digital footprint of people, of transactions, of markets, and the ability to learn, understand, analyze, and use that to your advantage in businesses is going to be absolutely critical. So, as I said, one of our most popular courses, and I hope that each one of you will make sure that you actually learn that if you haven't done so already. The second area that we see is about cybersecurity, and we are actively engaged with some global institutions to actually bring that course to NISM, because there's a huge gap in terms of capacity. People are just wanting and waiting for that skill to be available in the market. And with all of this, the one thing that we can all be sure of as Indian citizens is that we have a great future ahead of us. And I have often believed that at the generation that I was when I entered the workforce in 1988, it was a wonderful time to be an Indian. I think today for all of you, it's an even better time to be an Indian. And so all the best for the future and for your continuing association with NISM. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening address. It's time all of us have been waiting for. The convocation address by the chief guest of the ceremony, Shri K.V. Kamath, Chairman, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. I now request Shri Kamath, sir, to please deliver his convocation address.
Morning. Chairperson SEBI, Mrs. Madhvi Puri Buch, Director of NISM, Mr. Nair, Registrar, Mr. Kadam, faculty who are indeed very, very proud today, graduating class. I'm sure your parents, your spouses, relatives are here to cheer you on. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here and share a few thoughts. So what I discussed with Mr. Nair is that I'll speak for a few minutes initially, and then rather than take you through a boring convocation address, which nobody wants to hear, we will have Mr. Nair ask me a few questions which maybe will stay in your mind as the answers stay in your mind as you go along. But I start by complimenting the class and congratulating the class. And I will just pick up where Mrs. Buch indicated that time to be an Indian, I would phrase it as there was never a better time to have been born an Indian and been brought up and getting into the marketplace as it is. The reason I'm saying it is we now have a fair clarity that we are going to head from that 3.5 trillion number to an 8 trillion number by the end of this decade, as it were. That's I think, clear to most people who are looking at it. And again, Chairperson indicated what's the linkage? The market cap of the whole market is today equal to GDP. It will should grow along those lines to that number, talking of 8 trillion or so. It could well be more as there is more confidence in the marketplace and there are more people coming into the marketplace to own a piece of the market, as it were. And more importantly, as trust in the market improves. And I think that, to me, is the fundamental reason why this institution was built up. Because this institution creates the trust in the system. It is all right for us to say that there is a regulator. The regulator wants behavior of a particular by the people who are regulated. But if the people who are regulated do not have the capacity that is needed to be brought to bear to run things well, everything falls. And the sheer numbers that were mentioned earlier, 200,000 growing to 300,000 certifications, plus ongoing 6 streams or different types of education that is imparted. I think all this goes to create that, I would say, foundation for growth. And I have to compliment SEBI and NISM for this initiative, because things don't happen by waving a wand or by saying, no, this is a wish list. It happens when you make it happen. And here I see before me something that has been made to happen. I did not know all this till I came here, but in the last hour or so, I've in a way educated myself to what has been done to build the structural elements of this market and to make sure that its health continues going forward. The other piece that I want to just touch upon is the piece on data and analytics. I think this is just the start of the game, because if there is one area where I'm sure all of you and the people who follow you, the students who follow you, are going to ask the Institute is for more courses on data analytics, and overlay all the new jargon that you hear with it, whether it is AI or something else that may come up tomorrow or day after. So I think that's going to be the new future, and it is happening at a dramatic pace. I find that if you look at something that you thought was current 6 months back, or even 3 months back, suddenly you find that things have gone ahead of you. So again, it raises a need for certification and recertification, and growing your career, and growing yourself and growing your career along with your organization as you go along. So I will not continue with this address in the usual format. We will probably move to a Q&A format. I will again re-emphasize that India is growing. The 3.75 to 10 or 8 just now in 10 years is not wishful thinking. Again, I just want to add a data point there, which typically I have not seen economists make, but I want to make. Typically, the growth is taken as what is the reported growth. The reported growth is going to be 6.5% as indicated by several people who do numbers on this. I have to add only one number to this, and that is my estimation is that the digital part of the growth has not been factored in. If you look at another large economy, last year the digital part of whole pie was around 30% of the overall GDP. In our economy, it is around 5 to 7% today. And it is reasonable to assume that in the next 5 to 7 years, that should be between 25 to 30%. And that 25% to 30%, my assumption is going to be on top of that 6.5%. So you add 25% to that, you're talking of 8%, another 8% growth going ahead, and probably that 8 trillion number going at an accelerated rate as we go ahead. So it brings me back to there's never a better time to be an Indian, looking at India which grows at 8%, the opportunities it provides, and an opportunity to be important pillars in this whole process of contributing to India. Again, thank you very much for inviting me today, and I wish great success to this class and all good wishes in this I would say season's greetings in this time of festivity. All good wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll now request Shri Kamath sir for a small interactive session with Dr. CKG Nair, Director NISM.
Thank you very much for agreeing to both speak as well as to interact, and particularly for the benefit of the students, because we have crowdsourced some of the questions from the students themselves, so that your messages can go down to the ground level. Given 52 years of professional at the top, managing, first starting with a public sector enterprise, managing the transition from a public sector enterprise to one of the best private corporate conglomerate in the country, managing global or multilateral development financial institutions, managing pure private sector IT companies such as chairman, and coming back again to development financial institution. So your life journey itself is, as the chairperson has told, a lesson for the great teachers. What are the messages you would like to tell the young graduating students today?
Yeah, I think this is a very comprehensive question. I'll try to answer that. Clearly, in the first, I would say, 17, 18 years, were learning from masters. I learned from two masters. My first boss in ICICI was Mr. Nadkarni, who was later chair of SEBI, if I am not mistaken, in the 90s. So with him, under him, I learned probably most of what I learned. And thereafter, I had the occasion to work under another master, Mr. Wagul, from 85 to 88. Again, my continuing learning process was kept alive, as it were. They were different sort of teachers. Both were exceptionally brilliant, so I had to learn to keep pace with them. But the style was different. I think both were entrepreneurial. You picked the best from both of them as I went along. Thereafter, my 8 years at ADB was learning what was happening in Southeast Asia. So I spent my time basically trying to understand how change happens in countries. How do you go from a developing economy to maybe a developed economy, or transit through that stage, which I could use when I came back to ICICI. But the key in the whole process of transformation of ICICI was people. And that was not something I put on the table. That was put on the table by my seniors before me. So there was a core of people that were available, and we had to then work on that or mold that core to deliver. And that core had to be set in a new direction, as it were, given leadership roles very early in their career. So it was not untypical to have people just about 32, 33 at a level just below the board. So the board had 3 executive directors, but the next layer was a young layer of leadership. And people who did not have a particular skill were encouraged to pick up those skills. As chairperson has said, then boss clearly told her that you need to learn technology, and you need to run technology. And indeed, she ran technology thereafter, virtually for the bank. So I always think of her as a technology person, front office person, a brand building person, a person who did, operations for the bank, and almost every single, and drove business for the bank. Every single area that was in the bank was run. And we got insights into every single area by young people in their 30s, early 30s, as it were. So big learning for me was power of youth. Rely on that, empower them, and in a way, let them be entrepreneurial, and things happen. So that part of the journey was an entrepreneurial journey, as it were. Again, a challenge was the merger of the parent ICICI with the bank, and then becoming the bank. I won't go into that, but that itself was a great challenge. And in between, we all at ICICI got the brush with technology, real technology. When you put technology into the bank, and then we said that we will roll out 1,000 ATMs in 1 year, and there are maybe 100 ATMs in the country. And virtually everybody in the bank said that no, nobody will use an ATM. But it was people in the parent company who said, who did research, who did a lot of work, a lot of it led by Mrs. Butch here, who said it can be done. People are going to change. People need convenience. People are willing to make amends if they could have convenience rather than a brand and so on. Of course, a lot of learnings that we put into our thing. But the key element was technology. So we owned the technology in a way as we grew. So then I think then it was a question of scaling new businesses as we got along. Infosys, my role was just as the chair of the board. I was not into running anything. The experience at Bricks Bank was interesting because you were learning to handle 5 different people from 5 different countries, their own cultures, their mindsets, and some of them are, democratic governments, some aren't, and you have to learn to work with the system as it is given to you and run. So it was a great learning experience to maybe build my own knowledge and abilities to handle with the multicultural. So I think it's been a great experience. And the last few years, in accelerating India to grow with that again. And today, not the positions that I am holding, today, again, the role of technology has suddenly gone to a level where, as I said, I'm quite confident that 5 to 7% contribution to GDP by digital is going to go to 25 to 30% very soon. So it's going to be an exciting place to be.
Thank you, sir. You have underscored the importance of a core leadership team for the success of every organization. In that context, there is a question. The type of employees or leaders which used to be there in the organizations earlier, who would dedicate their full lifetime for basically the same organization, we are witnessing increasingly a question of something like temporariness, where people shift plus attrition rates are very high. Given these new challenges, how do you reimagine the HR strategy of modern companies facing these challenges? And what should be the current generation, the young generation, how should they address themselves to face these new realities?
I think, again, an excellent question. This was visible to us at ICSA very early, maybe 25 years back, or definitely 20 years back. And the most churn was happening in the Treasury Department, where, lasting 2 to 3 years was difficult. They always had an opportunity and then they went out. And then we saw that happening even in the branch, front office of the branch, or the front office of the bank, as it were, which is a branch, happening there. And then, of course, it pervaded through. And now I was talking to somebody the other day, some banks with attrition rates of 49%. And there are other banks, leading banks, between 25 to that number. So I think it has become a way of life. And my view is that there's no point in managements fighting this. And it is not, I don't think there's much downside for the young person who is doing this, because this is the nature of work that is there today. And the person is just riding that curve and progressing on the career path. As long as that happens, I'm very happy. You should look after your interests. The organization will figure out how to look after its interests. And how does that happen? Because it has to happen. It doesn't happen by chance. The organization then has to make sure that it keeps buffers for filling in these slots and allowing for growth, giving them proper training, and so on. So again, a sideline on this. This has happened going back 20 years in the case of Infosys. Infosys had large training campuses, each one taking about 10,000 students at each intake. So the Mysore campus has 10,000 single rooms where 10,000 young people can come in and get trained. And the typical training program was about 4 months. So you had 3 rounds of that. So 30,000 people actually stayed on campus and graduated. At that time, Infosys had about 150,000 staff. So you had 30,000 here and then in some other campuses. So totally about 50,000 people were trained to allow for growth and attrition, both. So this is part of the process. You build that in as a cost in terms of money and a cost also in terms of skill. And then you grow the teams as you go along. So I think this cannot be fought. You can provide better conditions, see what happens, provide greater growth opportunities, but you have to address it so that you don't fail, and wish your employee well as the employee leaves you, and hope that he carries memories or she carries memories where she or he is a brand ambassador for you.
Sir, you also emphasize the importance of being abreast with the technological developments and reskilling. Now you have given the example of Infosys with their gigantic training facilities in Mysore and other campuses. But that type of capabilities, I know you are a evergreen optimist. I mean, you will never tell anything. That is something which I have noticed about your personality. You will never be skeptical about anything. But still, some of the young generation is a little bit skeptical about the emergence of frontier technology like artificial intelligence on employment, and also the possibility of reskilling and continuous skilling on an accelerated pace, because the technology is running away. And in that context, do you think the challenges which we are facing, like in the form of human intelligence and artificial intelligence, will end up with in a sort of a harmonious jugalbandi, or in a sort of explosive cacophony type of relationship?
No, I'll keep the AI and other part of it aside for a moment. I'll come back to it and link it up. But the basic technology skills, I think, are required for survival today. If you don't do it, somebody is going to do it better, as Ms. Bush's boss that time, Nachiket, told her. And just continuing that, Nachiket then made it a requirement that anybody who entered Treasury had to do a certification course in Java. In talking of and calculus, we're talking of 25, 27 years back. But that was part of the prerequisite for entering ICICI into the Treasury function. And today, your organization will tell you that you need to have a basic understanding of how you build with open source. How do you play with R? How do you play with Python? And or anything newer and simpler maybe, or more complex. But without that, somebody else is going to do that, and you're going to find difficult. You have asked a larger question. Well, basically, I'll paraphrase it. The question to me is, will AI and other developments make the way we work different? I think it will, for sure. Will it pose an employment challenge? I'm not very sure. But the same question was raised, 30, 40 years back, whether you use, the phrase was computerization in banks, and what happens to jobs. Nothing has happened to jobs. So jobs have increased, and actually, and the whole thing has become wider and wider. So I would think the requirement of the skill will change, but nothing specific will change in what you do. So I think this class and several classes to follow, I don't think are going to have any challenge from AI. But if you have got a young child today entering college, and the child says that I don't want to do engineering, I want to do something else, then I think you owe it to that child, owe it to yourself to listen to that child, and you also owe it to that child to decide what it wants to do. Because there may be other occupations, the child is picking up the signals well in advance, which probably are going to be occupations of the future, and wants to go along those lines. So other day I came across a phrase, so the child wants to do art and architecture. And then the phrase came experience architecture. So I went into what is experience architecture. Experience architecture is basically understanding, say, the user interface that is there, the user experience that is there, and not just leaving it at that. Going back to the basic workbook and trying to do design thinking as to how do you start, what is the end use, and what are the components there, and what all you have to think about it. So today, in a classical technology program, this is not taught, but it's taught somewhere else in as an arts program and things like that. So we will have to allow children to feel their way around, and parents and the younger people who are not yet parents will also have to think about how these things are going to impact them and learn. It's not tough. If you have done this course, nothing is tough for you.
Sir, you have supervised during your more than 50 years of senior management and at the top level, supervised thousands of employees at different levels and interacted with many more thousands. Uh, One of the questions which our students had asked us to find out is how can they become, their ideal is you, for instance. How can they become like you? Well, my own answer to that, it's an impossibly difficult task. But still, what would be an ideal finance professional in the current times and going forward? Sir,
No, it's a very simple answer, actually. I think hard work is the key prerequisite. Keeping an open mind is the second prerequisite. Continuous learning is the third prerequisite. That is, I'm putting it on myself. Not necessarily in your own area. Learn from anything around you. Be curious and you will then connect the dots is a clear thing. Try to inculcate that in your people who you work with, or course of time, people you are basically there's a set of people who are responsible to you. You spread this knowledge so that you make it into a knowledge society, and thereafter, I think there'll be a time when you will start learning from your colleagues who are junior to you, and at that point in time, do not stop that learning, because probably the greatest learning happens when you learn from your colleagues. You listen to them. You may challenge them, but hear them out. And I would say 9 out of 10 times, what they say probably is the right way to go. And you are slightly outdated, and then you get corrected and come on this. You do that, you're going to remain young through the next 50 years of your career, as it were.
Sir, one last question, which is not, it's a policy question. You have been at the top of development financial institution, as I told, both multilateral and now domestic. But there is a lot of skepticism also about the role of particularly multilateral development financial institutions, which is of late being discussed. What are your views on the future of MDBs?
Yeah, see, again, you have to look at the MDBs as institutions which not only serve countries at today's India level, but served India of the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s. When ICICI was born in the 50s, there was IDBI, IFCI. And we had, in those years, about 20 lines of credit from the World Bank. There was no domestic funding available. There is a large part of the world which is exactly in that situation today, which is probably 60 to 70 years behind India. And clearly there is a role for these MDBs to provide assistance, a helping hand, and allow helping hand through the process of growth and emerging into a different, I would say, level of per capita income and so on. What we hear today is that these have become insulated boxes where not enough is being done. So, for example, one of the things at the G20, there was a panel, there was a leadership team that was built under Dr. N.K. Singh here, one of our own leaders, and Larry Summers, which is looking at how could they put their capital to better use. Now, we have done this exercise in the NDB, and we had end state $10 billion of capital. We said in a steady context, if you go by what the rating agencies tell you, you will run out of capital at around lending of between 45 to 50 billion. That's it that you could do. And then you'll have to ask for more capital. But if you are a little more innovative, you could probably take it to about 2.5 to 3 times that number. So what is the innovation that is required in this? At one level, at the very simplest level, for example, rating agencies say that for a development bank, you should have at least 1 year's liquid money sense. So you are not lending that. So you have to hold it as cash. Now my point is, if you can get to the market and raise money in 1 month maximum, and today it was self-registering for a long time, why do you need to hold that sort of liquidity? Yeah, you put a reasonable number. But they say you don't hold that liquidity, we will notch you down from AAA to AA. So the answer is, so what? Notch me down. I won't fight for the AAA. You think that I'm not being good enough or listening to you, notch me down. So what is the penalty that I pay? I probably pay a 10 to 15 basis penalty, if at all, 15 basis points penalty or higher cost. But I will get the funding that I want, and I can probably lend twice the number. One is on liquidity. The second is on leverage. So two put together should get you about 2 times to 2.5 times about doing nothing else and paying a 15 bips penalty to the market. Nothing has changed. And you could very easily save that by being more efficient. So, so this is what actually I had a discussion with the team there and said, this is what is possible. And I was told that World Bank doesn't buy it. I said, I know a priori that they won't buy it, but task is to convince them to buy it. So I think this is the thing, a very simple thing. They have capital. They have been always saying that we have run out of capital. Effective use of the capital, they could lend another 2x with what they have. And some dialogue is required with the rating agencies because there's no regulator in the picture. So rating agency and there's a market. The market is very clear. I'll notch you. If you notch down, I'll give you, money 15 bips lower. So you tell the rating agency, go ahead and notch me down. So this is the sort of, I would think, hopefully they have a leader now who understands markets, who has come from the markets, who's come from the banking side, and puts it on a different level.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure by talking on your own life experience, the students have got their message loud and clear. And I am sure they have been earnestly listening to you and use these messages of wisdom in their future endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening us with your experiences and wisdom. I'm sure it will help the students and all of us here in our various facets of our lives. Coming to the moment all of us have been eagerly waiting for. Dedication, sincerity, discipline, and continuous hard work. It took all for each one of you to earn your NISM postgraduate degree. This degree is the first step towards becoming future leaders of the industry. And the moment has arrived to applaud you all for your achievements and for awarding you your postgraduate degrees. To present the convocating students, I now request Dr. Rachna Baid, Dean Academics, NISM, to please come on dais. I also request the distinguished dignitaries to please come forward for the distribution of degrees. Further, I request the audience to please keep welcoming each graduating student with a round of applause. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. 128 students from 4 long-term programs are being convocated today. Sir, I would be first presenting the students of our 2-year PGDM in Securities Market program, followed by the students of 15-month PGP program in Portfolio Management, Investment Advisory, and Research Analysis, followed by our 14 months PGCM program in Data Sciences and in Financial Markets. And towards the end, I would be presenting the students of Postgraduate Certificate program in Securities Market, PGCSM program, which we do for the ICICI Bank. Most of our students are present today. However, few of the students could not make it to the ceremony. I would be taking the names of all the students, including the one who are not able to make it today in absentia for the purpose of convocation. May I first present the students of PGDM and Securities Market program? Aaron.
Always the balance and the right student to David. Extend.
Abhishek Desai.
Okay. I'll pick this.
Abhishek Jaju. Abhishek Vaishnav. Adesh Lad. Aditya Kumar Thakur.
Step short. Can.
Aditya Gozamgunde.
David.
Aditya Singh,
University. That's the character.
Aditya Deshmukh,
So, because of that, I said,
Advaita Portnis,
yeah, this count.
Akanksha,
No. Sure.
Akash,
So, and it's in her fuzz.
Akshay Loni,
What? And which? It.
Aman Kumar Mishra, Ankita Das,
This. That's it. Talking. Attack.
Ankur Parajuli,
It is it.
Anuj Chaturvedi,
What's that? Done. No. It.
Anshul Anand,
I'm on budge. That's.
Archana,
So, let's take the words we have.
Sri Sai Krishna,
What's in the hell? The machine.
Chetan Patidhar,
And with Tom.
Chetan Singh,
So, it process is winning.
Chitresh Goswami,
No, not the three. That's the sunset. Believe.
Darshan,
It's like 2,000. Great. Deal.
Devashri Kulkarni, Dhruv Dinesh,
Like, well,
Ishan Bhave,
anytime. But, that was it.
Gaurav Kumar Mishra,
Anyway,
Guru Swami, Hanika Dolakia,
you're in. Back next.
Harshit,
I will print it. That color. Yes.
Hiram Patil,
Good. Fine.
Himanshu,
Thank you.
Ridhyansha Sharma,
You're I did.
Ishan Jain,
I do.
Jatin Jain,
Some stuff. I'll get that. I got it. So,
Kapil,
with you. Then where's the I paid? They
Kiran David,
elders.
Komal Bharti, Kush Shah,
How I can fit six.
Ajay,
What do you do? Yes, sir. Thanks.
Mukesh Kumar,
I do. That thing's a tough that thing it was a great.
Nagendra Patra,
They are blessed. It's great.
Pradyuman Kandelwal,
Remember, and the sec.
Pritesh Priyam Kataria,
Wait, read this.
Rahul Kushwaha,
Read this soon. Wait. Soon.
Rakshit Raj, Rohit Modar,
Worry.
Ruchita Wadir,
Please do that soon. It must.
Sai Nandini,
And it's Italian start to thousand.
Sakshi, Sandeep Chattopadhyay, Saubhagya Ballav,
That was
Ibrahim Sheikh,
revelation. But
Shakti Dinesh,
chicken.
Sharan Shroff,
And more.
Shardul,
The way I was it.
Sheetal,
Hey, you do what?
Shitika Shetty,
So super in the tree, that's the first.
Shivam Agarwal,
I smile with who waits no day.
Shruti Shukla,
Go wait.
So we think our.
It is good.
Shubham Srivastava,
It's all wait. Is it?
Shubham Sharma,
I'm good. Good word. They go.
Yeah, good.
Good. Good.
Shubham Shaler,
I'll do it. I was the right thing.
Sunny Jha,
Come on. It's good.
Taha Rahi,
I'll make it. Why shoot? Begin.
Tejas Khandelwal,
What's up?
Wait, them.
Tumpa Sarkar,
You give me.
Vaishnavi,
Kindly. Can shoot. Get a lot.
Vasunath,
Elders.
Vinay Kumar, Vineet Lambu,
And others you can put thanks.
Vivek Kumar Yadav,
I'll pour it. I thank you.
Yogesh Bhandari,
Right. I want to you give me just the best.
Yogeshwaran, Ajay.
Other question needed.
Students of the PGP program are being called out now. Amit Kukreja, Atanu Agarwal, Bhanu Prasad Sudha, Bhavna Jain.
Look at when
It was a bit like.
Vidyut Vishwas, Jay Prakash Malu.
Harry we
Hot and wood. Head.
Jinesh Shah,
are out.
The next 9 years.
Thank you. This man.
Mahesh Mahajan,
Look. Government. Yes, to you.
Momita Nikhil, Pankaj Shinde, Pradeep Kumar, Prasad,
Employee.
Preetam Devskar,
Not. And why not? It.
Rajesh Kumar,
Very good. 1, 2.
Ramakrishnan,
Oh, wait.
Ram Kumar Agarwal,
Silently can. This thing.
Ram Kumar Agarwal,
So, what is it? Susan. Shit. Shake.
Sheetal Prakash,
Going. That's got it. First mistake. Yeah.
Sudesh, Vishalakshi.
What will be that? Oh, eat.
Convocating students of our data science program, Abhay, Abhinav Nair,
No, about that. Chill him out. Yeah. Hopefully, it's a bit good.
Aditya Praveen,
Enjoy it.
Amit, Jeet Sheth,
It's looking good. Game.
Joel, Minakshi Gupta,
Well, she too. You know, her.
Mohit Kumar,
Please. Why would it? Nah. Something is
Mautushi Basu, Nilesh, Nilesh Ganesh,
hack. To the days in back. What?
Nishant Tripathi,
What is it? Where me?
Prakhar Chaurasia, Ramya Jyoti,
I tell you, baby. Take it. Bunchman.
Santoshi Shahu, Shashank Pandey,
So what I did. Go. So. And get.
Shraddha Suresh,
Well.
Tanuj Mantri,
I just love these things. We're like it. Take them out on.
Vinay Chaudhary,
Bother it.
Vinayak Vasant,
Hollywood.
Vrushab Vaman, students of PGCSM program, Akshay Tyagi,
No.
Guru Shekhar, Himanshu Tyagi,
How's okay. To the screen. Look.
Kumar Vatan,
Give me. I can cook.
Nikhil Chandra,
Always think. I try to get out.
Rishabh Shettia,
And with that, look. Don't think enough to.
Setu Kumar,
Right.
Tony Varghese.
What is this?
But once again, very congratulations to all of you and best wishes. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the graduating students. I thank all the dignitaries for awarding the degrees. I request the dignitaries to join in awarding the gold medals now. Thank you, Ms. Rachna ma'am.
It's fine.
Now, it's the time to announce the gold medal awards for all convocating batches. Two leading banks of the country, namely State Bank of India and Canara Bank, have sponsored and instituted awards for the best students of NISM batches. We will first start with the award of SBI Gold Medal for the batch topper for the PGDM batch. The batch topper will be awarded with a gold medal, a certificate, and a cash prize of rupees 1 lakh. It's a pleasure to have with us Shri Gajendra Singh Rana, Chief General Manager, State Bank of India, Mumbai, to present the gold medal. May I request Shri Gajendra Singh Rana to please come to the dais to present the gold medal. May I also request Shri Sunil Kadam, Registrar NISM, to welcome Shri Gajendra Singh Rana with a bouquet.
Wait, not that. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Such. Yeah, of course.
The first award is for the topper of PGDM 21-23 batch. The SBI Gold Medal for the batch goes to Aditya Gojamgunde. I request Aditya to please come on stage to receive the award. I request the audience to please welcome him with a round of applause.
Yeah, it was the latest. Oh, you was.
No, they're not.
I must have now made for me.
You're like that. It's too bad.
With TD.
Yeah, what the let's get
See,
so.
and like where?
Thank you, Shri Gajendra Singh Rana, for joining us for presenting the awards.
With so much. And just, and then.
We will now move on to the Canara Bank Gold Medals for the batch toppers of PGCM 21-22 batch and PGP 21-22 batch. The batch toppers will be awarded with a gold medal, a certificate, and a cash prize of rupees 50,000 each.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have with us Shri Ajay Kumar, Deputy General Manager, Canara Bank, Mumbai, to present the gold medals. May I request Shri Ajay Kumar to please come to the dais to present the gold medals. May I also request Shri Sunil Kadam, Registrar NISM, to welcome Shri Ajay Kumar with a bouquet.
Well, that's.
Moving to the toppers for Canara Bank Gold Medals. The first award is for the topper of PGP 21-22 batch. The Canara Bank Gold Medal for the batch goes to Jinesh Rajesh Shah. I request Jinesh to please come on stage to receive the award. I request the audience to please welcome him with a round of applause.
You are. Get it in there. What is
Get a beer.
it? What is it? All sort of things. It'll be back. And I said good odds. Please, he's that little.
You can't.
Mention
I love. Yeah.
it.
I did pretty.
The next award is for the topper of PGCM Data Science 21-22 batch. The Canara Bank Gold Medal for the batch goes to Prakhar Chaurasia. Prakhar could not attend the ceremony, hence I request his representative to please come on stage to receive the award on his behalf.
You saw them. She, that was in some of the business. Going into the home to talk my phone. There is tea.
It was good combination.
So I can get her engine.
Thank you, Shri Ajay Kumar, for joining us for presenting the awards. Congratulations to all the awardees. We once again thank State Bank of India and Canara Bank for sponsoring these awards. Thank you all the dignitaries. You may now please take your seats. Additionally, I would like to take this opportunity to announce the names of the students from PGDM 21-23 batch who have been awarded scholarships for their academic performance during the program. This year, 14 students are being awarded scholarships in the range of rupees 1,25,000 to rupees 2 lakh, totaling to rupees 18,75,000. Their names are displayed on the screen. Due to time constraints, we are unable to call them on stage. Their checks will be handed over separately to them in the evening. All are requested again to give a huge round of applause to them. Now, as a token of affection and gratitude to our chief guest of the ceremony, I request our director, sir, to please come forward and present a memento to our chief guest, Shri K.V. Kamath, sir.
And if I were to state one, yeah, because this cinema, point, it is listen, but if you go over, and then
As a token of affection and gratitude to our chairperson, I request Director Sir to present a small gift to Ms. Madhavi Puri Buch, ma'am.
you look at the yes. I just can't. Yeah.
Now is the time for vote of thanks. May I request Shri Sunil Kadam, Registrar of NISM, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest, respected Chairperson, Madam, respected Director Sir, representative from Canara Bank and SBI and SEBI, and all my colleagues and staff members, the parents who are attended on behalf, come to cheer the students, and all the students. It's a big event for all of us, and we thank you, Kamath sir, for accepting this event and coming for this inauguration session. So initially, we requested him for a convocation address. So he suggested, rather than I should giving the message, what I want to give the message, is better we should hear from them what they want to listen from me. And accordingly, we tried to change this structure a little bit, and we had a question and session. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your guidance. And this guidance will go a long way for all the students, specifically the importance of continuous learning, humility to learn from your juniors, and importance of the technology. These are the key things, I think, which all of us need to learn and take it forward in our career and make our career successful. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, madam, for your guidance. Wow. Mr. Kamath sir is a mentor of madam, and madam is mentor for all of us. That the success which madam has gained, that success will continue, and that legacy will continue, and NISM also will become more successful under the guidance of chairperson. Thank you, madam. Thank you for your guidance and support all the time. Director sir, thank you for all your support for entire career. He is not only made the career course is more important, but also brought important speakers and guest speakers who have given a valuable knowledge to all of us, continuously guiding us in curriculum development, improving the quality. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your guidance and support for this curriculum. I also thanks our partners, Canara Bank and SBI, for their support and sponsoring these gold medals for all our students and encouraging them to take the education more seriously and further.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I also thank SEBI for some of the staff members who are regular visiting faculty for NISM. They are the people who are teaching our students about the market regulation making and practices in the market. So thank you all for your support and continuous giving lectures and coming to us. Thank you very much, sir. And I thank all my colleagues, staff members who have supported all of thoroughly for this event also. They have worked really hard. So thank you all of you. And I think we should have a big round of applause for all our staff members here. Thanks the faculty members for your continuous guidance and teaching for your students and making them eligible to get this convocation. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank all the parents who have come in support of their students and encouraging their students in this convocation ceremony. And lastly, I thank and congratulate all the students who have received the convocation. I wish all the best in their future career. A big round of applause for all of them. And with that, I conclude my vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request all to please stand up for the national anthem.
Please.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Good. Thank you, students. Ma'am Chairperson, if you permit, I would like to declare the convocation ceremony formally closed. Thank you, ma'am. The 10th Convocation ceremony is closed now. I would like to thank you all for attending the event.